This story begins with a simple yet special girl, Hinazawa. She's an ordinary-looking student, but she's a top-notch academic. She strives to be the best in everything she does, and this isn't limited to school. Her dedication and sincerity are as strong at home as her love for her family. Hina also has two close friends, Hikari and Akira has been in love with Hina since childhood, but our innocent male leading has no idea. Now in Hina's daily life, her parents run a popular restaurant and are so busy with work that the responsibility often falls on Hina's shoulders. She takes complete care of her younger sister, waking her up in the morning, preparing breakfast, and dropping her off at school. In other words, she plays the role of the perfect sister. Truly, Hina is the kind of girl anyone would say, may everyone have a daughter and a sister like her. But one night, the story takes a twist. Hina's younger sister is very fond of romantic movies and fairy tales, and in that pursuit, Hina recounts the classic story of Cinderella to her. But her sister points to the TV and says, "Look, this is the real Prince Charming." Instantly, Hina's eyes are fixed on the screen, and it's her love at first sight. The male lead of that film is none other than Keed from RR, a super-hit actor and former member of a famous K-pop band. But Keed's handsomeness, his charm, and his talent have made him a superstar among the three girls. And Hikari had already told Hina this. However, Hina was so engrossed in her studies at the time that she wasn't even aware of Keed's name. But sometimes, fate takes a turn for the movies. That very night, Hikari calls and delivers news that changes Hina's world. Hikari tells her that their school has been selected for the shooting of Keed's new film, and the most exciting part is that students will get to participate as extras. Hearing this, Hina jumps with joy and immediately tells Hikari to put her name on the list. The next morning, the whole atmosphere becomes film-like. Hina, Hikari, and all the other students are lined up for the shoot. They are to be shown working in the lab as normal students in the scene. Hikari, meanwhile, is beyond excited because she's about to meet her favorite star, Keed, but Hina keeps her emotions bottled up, neither saying nor showing anything. But as soon as the call to enter the lab comes, she's a little distracted and bumps into Keed. This sudden confrontation leaves Hina completely stunned. Keed apologizes and returns to his shooting, but our girl freezes in place as if time itself has frozen. And just like in any romantic drama, Keed gives a killer smile and Hina is bound to melt. It was a panty drop moment, to be honest. After the shoot, the two girls talk about Keed. Hikari asks her, "Did you see Keed up close?" But Hina, controlling her heart, acts cool. "Oh no, I didn't see him at all," Hikari tells her. She tells her to check it next time and walks away. But then Hina notices a can of cold drink thrown on the street. As she goes to pick it up, Keed sees her. He's watching the school cheerleaders dance intently, and that's where his dark side comes to the fore. To be honest, it seems like it for a little while. Should I call the police? But the drama doesn't stop there. As Hina starts to walk away, she slips, exposing her backside. Keed, without any shame, says, "I'm 86 cm. Hina blushes with embarrassment and runs away without looking back. Once home, she immediately starts measuring her measurements, and what a surprise. Keed was perfect. Now Hina is left wondering what kind of Prince Charming this is. A perfect prince on the outside, but a little strange on the inside. After some time, she asks her mother for permission to go out and have some time for herself. She goes to a shopping mall where she tries to take a toy out of a game machine because she promised her younger sister but fails repeatedly. In her last attempt, a stranger comes up from behind and gives her some tips. Hina takes the toy out with his help, and as she turns to thank him, Keid appears in front of her. Imagine Hina's shock again. But this time Keid looks completely different, no stardom, no fake swag. Hina is a little confused and without thinking shouts his name. But this ploy backfires as some nearby fangirls overhear. Keid quickly understands the situation, grabs his hand and leads him out. Once they reach a safe place, Hina asks him what he was doing at the mall. Keid smiles and says he has to shoot but needs some motivation. Hina has nothing to say. She just laughs and says, "Don't worry, I won't tell anyone about the fit behind you." She then says she has to leave because she's going to see a movie. When she leaves, Keid notices that the sole of her shoe is torn, and this brings a sweet smile to his face. Shortly after, Hina arrives at her movie on time, and when she sees the hand that Keid held, she says to herself, "I'll never wash those hands again." But then in another twist, Keid arrives at the same theater to watch the same movie. During the movie, Hina reveals that she loves romantic movies because they're so sweet and heartwarming. She's deeply moved by the story of Cinderella. When the movie ends and Hina is silently wiping away tears, Keid takes off his shoes and offers them to Hina, noticing that hers are broken. Hina initially refuses but finally gives in to Keid's insistence. The next morning, Hinata appears lost in class. As if her mind is somewhere else, neither listening to her friends nor concentrating on her studies, something strange suddenly begins to happen in the school corridors. Girls everywhere are going crazy because a famous actor has entered the school, and of course our girl had no idea. But Keid stands at the threshold of the classroom. Everyone is running towards him, screaming and shouting, but Keid doesn't care. His eyes are only on Hina. He walks straight up to Hina and gives her a new pair of shoes. The entire classroom falls silent. Everyone, including Hikari and Akira, is stunned by Keid's Prince Charming gesture. But it doesn't end there. Keid kneels down and puts the shoes on Hina's feet himself, then says, "They're exactly like the fairy tale you dreamed of." Later, Hina follows Keid outside the school and tries to return her old shoes. She smiles again, thanks him, and starts to leave. But before that, Cade writes his phone number on her palm and tells her to call him so he can tell her his name. That very night, Hina's heart leaps with joy and she immediately tries to call Cade. But what does she see when she calls? This number is not available. Her heart breaks. Cade, on the other hand, is currently at dinner with his ex-girlfriend, Shu. Shu is also a well-known actress. There's no resentment between them now, they're having a good time as they're soon to be co-stars in a romantic film. But things aren't so positive for Hina. She's constantly rubbing the number away, thinking that Cade was just playing with her emotions. Meanwhile, Cade is getting ready in his van for his shoot when his manager explains to him that an actor's every action in public matters. Even the smallest mistake could jeopardize his image and career. But Cade ignores it and says, "I'll be right back," because he's already spotted Hina walking down the street. He immediately gets out of the van and approaches Hina. He asks her directly, "Why didn't you call me?" Hina shows him her call log and Cade realizes she accidentally gave him her old number. He takes her mobile phone to give her the correct number, but Hina snatches his phone and says, "Don't play with me like this. I had feelings for you before, but now nothing is left." She starts to leave, but just then Cade catches her. Smiling, he says, "It's a good thing to have expectations." And without delay, he gives Hina a sweet kiss, even while wearing his mask, like the perfect climax of a Cade drama. As the secret of Cade's crush on the younger generation is revealed, Hina is completely shocked and speechless. Cade quietly reveals that he had wanted to know her name the moment he first saw her because it was love at first sight for him. Obviously, Hina is completely melted by such a straightforward and heartfelt confession and finally reveals her name. The next day we see Hina meticulously choosing her underwear. Why now? Because she has a date with Cade, but fate demands drama every time. Akira arrives at the scene holding a bouquet of flowers, confused by the whole scene. A short while later, Hina, dressed in her stunning attire, waits for Cade's van. As soon as he arrives, she asks him where they're going on a date, but Cade just smiles and says, "Just keep watching." He takes her to his luxury apartment. Hina is amazed by the grandeur of the place, and Cade tells her that he's never invited a girl over before. They spend a good time together, chatting, looking at Cade's old band photos, and having lunch together. Then comes the time to chill out when Cade suggests watching a movie. During the movie, he pretends to be asleep, and Hina, feeling a little nervous, starts touching him gently. But then Cade subtly reveals his true feelings. Instincts unleashed. Hina is completely shocked, and it seems as if the scene will escalate into a crime. But the impending disaster is averted when Cade's manager interrupts their scene, angrily asking, "What are you doing? And who is this girl?" Even more shocking is Cade's bold statement, "She's my girlfriend." Hearing this, not only the manager but also Hina herself is stunned. The real shocker comes when the manager asks Hina her age and she replies, "I'm 16. The manager nearly has a heart attack. After Hina leaves, the manager furiously lashes out at Cade, telling her that this is a waste of her career. This relationship isn't right. And Cade already has numerous film shoots going on right now. But what does Cade care? He coldly says, "Do whatever you want, but don't interfere in my life." And the next day, Hina goes into complete dream mode. Cade's "I have a girlfriend" dialogue has sent her over the edge, and now she's constantly fantasizing about being his girlfriend. But this dream doesn't last long, as she receives a message from Cade saying they won't be able to meet for a few days due to filming. With Cade's absence, Hina has plenty of free time, so she goes to help Akira at his family's flower shop on the weekend. In a light-hearted moment, Akira confesses his love to her and that he thinks they could even get married. But Hina takes it lightly, thinking it's a joke. At that very moment, Akira receives an order for flowers, and that too for a well-known film production company. So it happens that Hina is tasked with delivering flowers. When she arrives at the location with the flowers, she discovers that it's the same set where Cade is filming his new film. Her heart shatters right before her eyes. She sees Cade kissing his ex-girlfriend Shu. Even though it was all part of the film's shoot, for Hina this scene feels like a breakup. Heartbroken, she's about to leave. But then Cade spots her and runs after her. He takes her to a private place so no one will suspect anything and then explains that it was just a scene and nothing more. Hina understands and promises not to interfere with his professional work. Cade is so impressed by this understanding that he affectionately bites her on the nose, making it clear that no other guy will ever be able to approach his girlfriend again. But this loving moment is witnessed by Shu, who watches from afar, her expression clearly showing displeasure. A few days later, Cade calls Hina and asks her if she'd like to go on a date, but Hina politely declines, saying it's her friend Akira's birthday and they're celebrating at her house. Cade understands the situation but in his own way says he has a plan. Then just before Akira's birthday, Hikari encourages him to confess his feelings to Hina, and the two enter the party. But then comes the biggest surprise of all. Skye appears. Everyone is stunned and Hina is especially stunned. Then Cade confesses to everyone that he and Hina are now in a relationship. Hikari is overjoyed to hear this, but Akira's heart is shattered inside. He realizes he's no match for a superstar like Cade. Everything goes smoothly, dining and drinking. But when the two boys are alone, Akira asks Cade point blank, are his feelings for Hina real? Because if not, he should stay away from her. Cade now understands that Akira also feels for his girlfriend, so he firmly states that his feelings are serious. Akira replies that he's not one to give up, And then after the party ends, when Hina is saying goodbye to her boyfriend, Keed tells her that the competition for love has begun and he won't lose. The next day, Hinana goes to Keed's apartment, and as she opens the door finds Keed half naked, like in a Bollywood movie. Hina immediately closes her eyes, and Keed begins his playful flirtation. This brief romantic time between the two turns into a truly quality moment, and then Keed takes their relationship to the next level by giving her the keys to his apartment, saying she can come over whenever she feels lonely. Hina's joy knows no bounds, but behind the sparkle of this love story lies a shadow. A few days later, while Keed is dining alone at a restaurant, he spots his old bandmates. But they completely ignore him as if something terrible had happened between them. This deeply hurts Keed, who was once his best friend. That night, as he lies alone on his couch, memories of the past flash before his eyes. The time when he was with his bandmates, everything was so beautiful, the team was so united. But then Keed decided to leave the band and focus on his acting career. This decision strained their relationship, as Keed was the group's leader and his departure completely shattered the band. Meanwhile, Hina's life is also about to face a storm. While at school, she overhears some girls talking about K's new film and his ex, Shu. Everyone is saying that they will get back together because their on-screen chemistry is still amazing. Hearing all this, Hina's mind goes into a tailspin. She begins to think that Shu is better than her in every way, so what chance does she have with Keed? She shares this with a friend who flatly says that no one can compete with a girl like Shu. But Hina refuses to give up. She decides to fight for her love. With this spirit, she goes to Keed's apartment, as he himself had told her she could come whenever she wanted. But as she enters, she sees a pair of high heels and her heart breaks. She immediately runs away, followed by Keed. But Hina, furious, declares that she doesn't want to hear anything from him anymore. She now understands that Keed has only played with her emotions. After this incident, Hina is completely devastated and refuses to get out of bed. But when Akira finds out about her, he rushes to her house. When Hina slowly wakes up, Akira holds her from behind, comforting her, telling her to stop worrying about Keed. He's only causing her pain. Then, for the first time, Akira confesses his feelings to her. Hina is completely shocked, having never considered Akira more than a friend, and when she can't say anything, Akira gives her space and realizes that perhaps everything happened too quickly. A few days later, they encounter each other at the classroom door at school, and a strange tension fills the air. That evening, Hina meets Shu, who has come to visit her specifically. They sit together and discuss the situation openly. Shu directly tells Hinana that she wants Keed back and that she should leave him. Hina, though a little hesitant, agrees, as she has already been convinced that she is no match for a girl like Shu, neither in beauty nor in status. But Hina still says that she wants to know Keed completely and spend more time with him. Seeing Hina's sincerity and intentions, Shu's heart melts and she tells him the truth. In fact, a few days ago, Shu tearfully pleaded with Kei to get back together. But Kei rejected her, and at the same time, Shu also revealed that she was the one who kissed Keed that day. However, Keed didn't return her kiss. With this revelation, Shu bids farewell to Hinana, having decided to take a step back so that the true love between Hina and Keed can flow freely. That night, Hina receives a visit from Keed, who apologizes for the misunderstanding that occurred that day, and for the first time openly expresses his feelings about how over time he has grown to love her even more and that Hina is the most important thing in his life. However, Keed is a popular actor and must always be vigilant about his public image. The very next day, he privately rents an entire park of attractions just for the two of them, and then our Turtleverse enjoy themselves to their heart's content. Sometimes the screams of roller coasters, sometimes the laughter of horse rides, and sometimes the delights of ice cream. But as night falls, Hina has to return home because she has to take care of her younger sister. At the end of their guided date, Kei gives her a special gift. Hina thinks she's about to receive a romantic kiss, but when she opens her eyes, she's surprised. Kei gives her a cute chain with a tiny shoe hanging from it, along with the words, "I'm really happy to be your boyfriend." And with that, our couple's love story reaches a new level. Now their lives are filled with love, fun, and moments spent together, trips to new places, movie dates, and weekend romance. But as with every story, trouble can strike at any moment, and this is where the biggest problem arises when a sensational news story goes viral in the media. A reporter reveals that Kid is in a relationship with a schoolgirl, and this could obviously prove disastrous for his career. The real reason wasn't a desire to pursue an acting career, but rather a severe sore throat that prevented him from singing. Kid kept this pain hidden for a long time. But when the pain became unbearable and surgery became necessary, he told his bandmates. Just before an international tour was due, he felt it was best to leave the group and give his friends a chance to move forward. After hearing this, the manager promises to support Keed in fulfilling all her dreams. Meanwhile, Hina ruminates over the conversation and then makes a significant decision. The next day, she meets with Kei and apologizes, saying that perhaps he's the reason for all the complications in her life. "So now it's time to end this little fairy tale," she says. Hina leaves him in tears, and the worst part is that all this happens on her birthday. Time passes, and then Keed holds a press conference where he confesses to everyone that he was dating a schoolgirl, but that he will never do it again. He admits he made a mistake and now wants to devote himself solely to his career. Hearing Keed's words shatters Hina. She retreats to the rooftop to sit alone. But then Akira arrives, hugs her from behind, and encourages her. He tells her to cry if she wants to. I'm always with you like a true friend. And now we jump to a time skip of 3 years later where Keed wins an international award, becoming one of the few Japanese actors who truly won the world's hearts. Meanwhile, his manager is going through all the gifts people send Keed and finds a letter among them. But upon seeing Keed arrive, he discreetly hides it, and you might be wondering what happened to Hina. So he strengthens his bond with Akira even further. On her birthday, Akira gifts her a movie ticket, and that too to Hina's favorite movie. But now let's return to our male lead, whose manager organizes a grand party on his return to Japan. And to Kei's delight, he finally gives her the letter, and it's written by none other than Akira. It states that they are no longer together. But Hina still watches all of Kei's movies day and night, and whenever she goes out she sees only Kei everywhere. Writing all this truly breaks Akira's heart, but he knows he's not the right person in Hina's life. He can only be Kei, so Akira takes a drastic step. Along with the letter, he leaves a movie ticket for Keed so that she can go to the theater and perhaps find her true love again. As Keed learns all this, his heart swells with excitement. While his manager is busy entertaining the audience, Keed races at lightning speed to meet his love, Hina. But when he reaches the theater, he discovers that the show has long since ended. Disheartened, he heads back home, and then, as if by a twist of fate, Hina descends the stairs and they stand face to face after 3 years. In that moment, Kei speaks directly from his heart. I promise myself that when I become worthy of your love, I will definitely come to find you. And then he gives Hina her birthday gift, a pair of sparkling shoes, symbolizing that if she so chooses, every step she takes from now on will be towards a beautiful future with Cade. Then without wasting a moment, they share a passionate kiss, and with this beautiful moment our romantic journey ends. If you liked this story, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon so you don't miss any next video. I'm posting more amazing videos that you will surely enjoy. Thank you so much for your precious time.